Good evening from Joliet, Illinois, and welcome to today's CCAC soccer matchup between the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints and the Red Hawks of Indiana University Northwest. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for today's 90 minutes of soccer. St. Francis coming in on a roll. It's been more than a month since their last defeat. They have gotten a result in 8 consecutive matches. That stretch has included 5 wins and 3 draws, including a 0-0 tie against St. Xavier their last time out this past Saturday. Indiana Northwest comes into today's game trying to bounce back. They've lost 3 of their last 4, and that includes a defeat for them at the hands of St. Ambrose, a very tough conference opponent. The Bees took out the Red Hawks 3-1 the last time they played, and that was last Wednesday. Indiana Northwest did not have a game over the weekend. They will start with the first kick of today's game. The Red Hawks in black and red. They're going from right to left and shooting into the north goal in the first half today. Fighting Saints are in gold and silver and white shorts. They'll be going from left to right for the first 45 minutes of today's action and shooting into the south goal. We'll take a look at the starting lineups as we go here. Indiana Northwest in control on the far sideline, but only for a moment as they lose it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Fighting Saints and their fifth-year head coach Al Pilar, who draws up a lineup that features Ishel Palayo, Zoe Vallant, Mia Perry, Litzy Flores, Emily Galvin, Alexis Mariquin, Ariadne Gonzalez, Mia Okana, Andrea Aguirre, and Isabel Diaz. The goalkeeper for St. Francis today is Crystal Rodriguez, who has been awfully good so far this season. Here's a run into the box for the Fighting Saints, trying to make an early run at the net. There's a tap towards the center of the field, but it's cleared out of bounds along the far side by Indiana Northwest. Crystal Rodriguez has played all but 25 minutes in net this year for St. Francis. She's allowed just 19 goals in 14 games played for the team with a 6-3-5 record. To the edge of the box, Indiana Northwest clears it again. Bouncing back towards midfield, the Fighting Saints are able to maintain control, but it's intercepted by the Red Hawks. Rodriguez this season has allowed an average of 1.39 goals per contest. She's made 58 saves, has a .753 save percentage, and has been solely responsible for 3 shutouts this season as the ball is scooped up by the Indiana Northwest goalkeeper, Isabel Escalera. Tell you about her in a little bit. We'll take a look at the entire Red Hawks starting lineup in just a moment. First, we'll see if St. Francis can make anything out of this chance. Doesn't look like it, as IU Northwest is able to clear along the near side. Ziamara Santana trying to make something happen along the sideline. It's poked away from her by the Saints and out of bounds. A throw in here for the Red Hawks. The entire starting lineup for Jamie McNicholas's squad. McNicholas is the third-year head coach of the Red Hawks. They line up with Dusty Stoner, Olivia Hansen, Bryn Nyland, Ziamara Santana, Daisy Bonilla, Gianna Church, Kendall Karuba, Nora Lobert, Gianna Whitty, and Jocelyn Chang Stroman in front of the goalkeeper, who just kicked it towards the near sideline. It's taken away by St. Francis. Here comes Mia Okana trying to make something happen. Rolled ahead and intercepted. Here's Bryn Nyland for Indiana Northwest. Lost again. It's Okana. Down towards the corner. Taken away. Out of bounds. It'll be the Saints throw-in. Isabel Escalera is the junior goalkeeper from Waukegan, Illinois, and Waukegan High School for Indiana Northwest. Escalera has started 12 of 13 games this year for IU Northwest. She's allowed 15 goals, an average of just 1.25 per contest this season. She's made 47 saves, has a .758 save percentage, and has 4 shutouts. Indiana Northwest coming into today's game has an overall record of 5-6-2 as the offsides flag goes up against the Fighting Saints. So St. Francis is better overall, 6-3-5 compared to 5-6-2. They're better in conference. So the Saints are currently all alone technically in first place in the CCAC with a record of 4-0-3. Indiana Northwest is below 500 at 2-3-1. But the defense for IU Northwest has actually been ever so slightly better than the Saints. IU Northwest this season is allowing just 1.15 goals per game, while St. Francis has given up 1.43. Obviously, the Saints have that better record primarily because of their offense. They've scored 23 goals. Indiana Northwest has only 14 through a similar amount of games. We're about 4.5 minutes into the action. Almost all of that action has occurred on this side of the field. The Saints haven't had a big run towards the net yet. But IU Northwest has barely had any possession at all. They control it for the moment, but on the defensive side of the field, trying to move it into the middle third, and they do finally get it across midfield, where a slide tackle from St. Francis knocks the ball out of bounds on the far sideline for an IU Northwest throw-in. IU Northwest trying to make something happen here. It's their longest, I think, sustained possession of the game, and just like that, it's over. Nobody offensively down here for St. Francis just yet. So a pretty easy job for IU Northwest to just let it roll. And it eventually goes out of bounds down in the far corner. We'll get a throw-in from the Red Hawks. Taken away by the Saints. Bad touch from IU Northwest. There's a turn and a shot played on one hop. Stop made by Isabel Escalera, like Isabel Diaz, who took the shot for St. Francis. First shot on goal in today's game. Not a particularly difficult save for Escalera, but it does go as her 48th of the season. St. Francis knocking at the door early in this one. The possession time has not borne any fruit just yet. There's a turn from Santana, sending it upfield. Taken away from Gianna Church. Redhawks get it right back. Pushed ahead, tapped back. This is Nora Lobert giving it up to the defense, and Jocelyn Chang Stroman. Mia Okana trying to take it back for St. Francis. Ball worked around her, though. A little monkey in the middle. Finally, they get it away from Okana's territory. Kendall Karuba passes it off to her right. Far side of the field. Cleared by the St. Francis defense. Now a chance to go for a little run here. Into the box. In position. The shot is saved by Escalera. Nice job by the IU Northwest goalkeeper, Escalera. Shot from the freshman Gonzalez was from a tough angle. Gonzalez does lead the team with 8 goals. More than twice as many as anybody else on the squad. Almost as many as Indiana Northwest has total. Like I said, tough angle, but what a run from Gonzalez just to get to that ball first. Initially when it was kicked, it looked like it was going straight into the defensive zone. And it was in the defensive zone, but Gonzalez was there before any defenders were. So she was able to get a good shot off. But again, a tough angle to get it around the goalkeeper. And Escalera was on it the whole way. So second save of the game for Escalera. Crystal Rodriguez has not had to make any yet. Foul called on the Fighting Saints. Got to think this is a tough night to be goalkeeper. It's going to be like this, you'd figure, most of the rest of the season. It's chilly out there. Temperature right around 50. If it hasn't yet, it will certainly drop into the 40s by the end of the game. So it's cool. And if you're out there playing soccer, it's not so bad. You're running around. It's actually good running weather. But if you're a goalkeeper, you're just kind of standing around the whole game. And if you're Crystal Rodriguez specifically, you've done nothing but stand around the whole game. She hasn't even had to touch the ball yet through the first 9 minutes. So you have to be very, very careful, I would imagine, as a goalkeeper on a day like this to make sure you don't freeze up. You got to have quick reflexes when the ball does come your way. Here's a shot from long range for St. Francis, and it drifts well out of bounds along the back line. That's out for a goal kick. Exactly 9 minutes into the game, no score. St. Francis and Indiana Northwest. The Fighting Saints haven't lost a game since September 10th. 5 weeks ago now. A whiff on the attempted kick from Olivia Hansen. She's able to stick with it, but she does end up losing it to the Fighting Saints. That ball bounces a little bit too far out in front of Gonzalez, and so it's easy pickings for Escalera. The goalkeeper scoops it up in the box and allows her team to move downfield a touch. Down the near side, here come the Red Hawks. It's Santana trying to turn. It's knocked away. Good defense from the forward Litzy Flores. But the Red Hawks take possession back. Here's O'Connor trying to get it from Nora Lobert. Lobert staying in control, gives it up to Chang Stroman. The Red Hawks just can't clear it. Relentless play from the offense of St. Francis. Nicely done to retake possession. And now it just goes back and forth. Not a clean ball from Emily Galvin. Here's a run from the Red Hawks, halted almost immediately. They just haven't been able to get any offense going so far. As I said through the stats earlier, it's not entirely uncharacteristic of the team. They don't generate a lot of offense. They did score 3 goals in a win against Indiana South Bend 10 days ago. Take that game out of it. Not a whole lot going on. In fact, if you want to go that deep into it, they scored 4 goals in a win back on September 10th, a 4-0 win over GCU. 3 goals in a shutout win over IUSB on Saturday of last week. And if you take away those 2 results, they have a grand total of 7 goals in 11 games. They've been shut out 5 times this year. So typically speaking, and especially when you talk about conference play where the competition is tough, that ball is sent towards the back. Rodriguez finally gets to get herself involved in the game a little bit. She tracks it down just before it reaches the back line rather than the goal kick. She just scoops it up for the punt. But not much doing on that one. Just a chance for her to get on the move a little bit after she had been stationary for the first 12 minutes. I feel like I was making a point right before that happened. I was talking about how conference play is a little bit tougher. You don't expect to get a ton of those games where you're going to win 4-0 or 3-0. Of course, they had the one against IUSB. But there's going to be a lot of tough games in front of them, including this one today. And if they want to win, it's almost certainly going to have to be a low-scoring game. They need to shut down St. Francis. Looking for a 1-0 type of victory. Fighting Saints have been able to find success a lot of different ways. Low-scoring games, high-scoring games, blowouts. Particularly in conference play, they have not been blown out. Haven't lost yet a conference game this year. They tied St. Xavier, they tied Judson, they tied Olivet Nazarene. And that's some of the best competition in conference, particularly Olivet, who they're neck and neck with for the top of the conference right now. Throw in for the Fighting Saints from midfield. Technically, the Saints are in first place right now, but by just 1 point over Olivet. And Tigers have played 1 fewer game. Saints are 4-0-3. The Tigers are 4-0-2. So both teams are undefeated. Foul called on the Fighting Saints once again. A free kick from just past midfield for Indiana Northwest. They played each other to that 1-1 tie last Saturday. Well, this is a big result for the Fighting Saints. They were able to keep pace with Olivet Nazarene. Now they won't play them again in the regular season. Obviously, you want the win. You always want to win, but that's such a big one because they're so close in the standings. But the other thing that a win does is it gives them a little head-to-head confidence. There's a good chance the two teams could see each other again in the conference tournament, but as of right now, it's the only one on the schedule. So they don't have to take on the Tigers again, which is nice. Anytime you can look at the schedule and realize Olivet's not on it. Pushed ahead down the middle of the field. Nobody there offensively for IU Northwest, so it's tracked down by the St. Francis defense and deflected out of bounds. It'll be a Saints throw-in. Indiana Northwest has that same joy of looking at the schedule and realizing they don't have to play Olivet again as well. Big difference being that when they did take on Olivet, they lost 3-0. Right down the middle of the field, cleared again by St. Francis. Credit to IU Northwest, the first 8 or 9 minutes weren't too pretty for them, but they've turned it around. Neither team has scored. Redhawks still haven't gotten a shot off, but it's been much more evenly matched in terms of possession time. Isabel Diaz tries to roll it ahead for Gonzalez. Couldn't find her, but the Saints do get possession back. Down in the far corner, there's the cross. Bounces past the striker and is cleared by Indiana Northwest. Fight for possession along the far side, rolled towards the middle of the field, taken by Indiana Northwest. And it's out of bounds, so a throw in for the Saints. St. Francis on the move. Popped away. Saints try to get it back. There's a tussle. Players for both teams end up falling on the ground. The ball loose and tracked down by the Saints. It's Emily Galvin rolling it ahead to Okana. Mia Okana against two defenders. Taps it head towards the sideline and it's pushed out of bounds. Last touched by Nora Lobert. Let's see. Flores throws it in. There's the cross right in front of the net, a little bit behind the intended target. Saints still have it, though. Pushed ahead into the penalty area. Forced off the ball. And we've got a whistle against St. Francis. Just about 17 minutes down in this first half. A little bit over 28 minutes to play. It's a cool evening in Joliet. But again, nothing out of what will be ordinary the rest of the way. This season runs through the first week of November before the conference tournament begins. So it's a little bit below average today, but we'll have seasonably cool weather the rest of the season as well. Here's a good run for Indiana Northwest. Pushed ahead, still on sides, a turn and a shot right into the hands of Crystal Rodriguez. Bryn Nylene is denied a chance at what would have been her first goal of the year. It's an aggressive play by Nylene. Nice job by her to keep the play alive. Into the box on the other end. Booted away by Escalera. Crystal Rodriguez was forced to work. She made her first save of the game as a foul is called on Indiana Northwest. Here's Okana. Okana sends it ahead. Two defenders there, and one of them is able to touch it first. Two defenders against just one offensive player on that particular pass ahead. Streaking down the center of the field, Crystal Rodriguez steps up and clears it herself. IU Northwest keeps it in play. It's Lobert. Nora Lobert dribbles down the sideline, pushes back towards the center, and right at St. Francis. Galvin to Okana. Off to Andrea Aguirre, who sends it to the left side. throw in is deflected right back out of bounds by the Redhawks. St. Francis throws it back in play. Galvin at midfield. Big right-footed kick. Gonzalez makes a run but can't get there. Escalera instead dives on top of the ball. She'll take her time before clearing it. Isabel Escalera, one of 2 players on IU Northwest's roster from the state of Illinois. Natalie Pacheco is the other. Pacheco doesn't get a whole lot of action. Just 2 games played in this year. Not that this is a big homecoming or out of the ordinary at all. This is the CCAC, after all, the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. So naturally, if the conference is based in Chicagoland, there are more than a couple of opportunities to play in Chicago, or in the state of Illinois, I should say. Most of the teams are not based in Chicago itself. Few of them are. But Chicagoland generally encompasses the state of Illinois and Northwest Indiana. Not Indiana Northwest, but Northwest Indiana, which is located in Indiana Northwest is located in Northwest Indiana. That makes sense, right? 24-20 on the clock. No score. Saints were the better team early, no doubt about that. They held possession by a dramatic margin over the first 10 minutes, and since then it's evened out. I'd still say that the Fighting Saints have looked to be the better team so far in this one, but if you just take the last 15 minutes or so of action, maybe the last 10 minutes or so of action, there have been as many good scoring opportunities for the Redhawks as there have been for the Fighting Saints. We'll see who develops the next one. Here's Olivia Hansen. Hansen turns and passes to her left. Lobert. 2 defenders on her. Passes back again to Hansen. Redhawks not moving forward much so far in this possession. Now they'll try to. Lobert. Lobert tries to scoot around the defender. Well played by Ishel Palayo. And the Saints clear it. Good deflection from the Redhawks. Turn and a long-range shot. Well wide to the left. Looked like Xiomara Santana who took that shot. It was almost a desperation attempt from IU Northwest. The shot was from a long way out. Not a whole lot on it from Santana. But they just wanted to make sure they got a shot off. Don't wait around for St. Francis to take the ball away, which has happened a number of times in that part of the field so far today. To the sideline. Taken away by the Fighting Saints. Now a run down that sideline. See if they can work something towards the middle of the field. There's the cross and a shot. Diving save made by Escalera. The ball's still loose, but nobody there for the follow-up for St. Francis, so Escalera is able to track it down along the back line and scoop it up. Nice save by Escalera on arguably the most dangerous scoring attempt of the game for the Fighting Saints. We remain scoreless more than halfway through this first 45-minute period. Pushed out of bounds on the sideline. St. Francis throw in. Far side of the field. Tossed into the edge of the box. There's the cross, and there's the clearance towards the sideline. Still in the danger zone for IU Northwest. Finally able to push it a little bit further downfield. Out of bounds, another Saints throw in. Pushed towards the corner. Turned back the other direction and knocked out of bounds again. This time the Saints were the last team to touch it. Fight for possession on that sideline. Saints come out of the fray with it, and they try to set up their offense. Poked loose, all the way back to the defensive end of the field. Just across midfield, it's Emily Galvin getting the first touch for the Fighting Saints. They waste no time, forcing it back the other way across the midfield stripe. Ball knocked loose by Indiana Northwest, but the Saints come away with the loose possession again. Tap to the left, knocked loose by the Red Hawks. Stoner to the sideline, out of bounds, last touched by the Saints. 3 yellow shirts around where that throw-in went, though. But St. Francis is again in control. Gavin looks at Pelayo on her right and passes to Pelayo on the right. That's ahead for Okana. Check that. Gonzalez. And that got away from everybody. Back into the box and an easy pickup for Escalera. We're under 20 minutes to play in the first half. Lobert. Intercepted. Turn from Isabel Diaz, pushed upfield, long run towards the far corner to try to keep it in bounds, and nobody can get there. It goes out along the sideline, though, not the end line, so it will be a throw-in, not a goal kick. We haven't seen a goal kick yet today, have we? We certainly haven't seen a corner kick. So we're playing the sidelines here. Have we really not seen a single goal kick? No ball has gone out the back line. That can't be right. I'm forgetting something. One thing I know we haven't seen is a score. Still 0-0. It feels like St. Francis has been knocking at the door for so long. They haven't been able to push one through. Maybe now's the time. A couple of good moves towards the back side of the box. Rest of the team comes down the field to join the play. There's a dribble and a cross right in front of the net. There's a shot and there's a score. St. Francis is on the board first. Just under 19 minutes to play in the first half. Beautifully set up by the Fighting Saints. And they take a 1-0 lead. It felt like it was bound to happen at some point. Saints have been in possession so frequently in this game. They haven't had a ton of really good shots, but you put pressure on the defense long enough, and there's going to be a breakdown at some point. And that was the point right there. Clock ticking down towards 18 minutes, 1-0. St. Francis on top. That is the second goal of the season for Andrea Aguirre. And the 24th goal this year for the Fighting Saints, who did not score their last time out. They didn't give up a goal either to St. Xavier, so it was a 0-0 tie on Saturday. This is their first goal scored in about a week. Last Wednesday afternoon, they took on Governor's State here in what was originally scheduled to be a road game. They won that one 6-2. Mia Okana given credit for the assist on that goal. Sixth assist of the year for her. That leads the team. Rolled towards the outside and intercepted. Indiana Northwest trying to hold on to the ball here, and they're having trouble doing so. Right at midfield, 2 Saints defenders in on the play, and it's knocked out of bounds off of Indiana Northwest. This will be another throw-in for the Red Hawks as it was deflected off this time of St. Francis. Gianna Church is walking off the field for Indiana Northwest. Looks like Zoe Wells who checked in, sophomore forward. On the far side of the field, headed out of bounds by St. Francis. Pushed out of bounds again. So Indiana Northwest has been pushing downfield now bit by bit. Gotten a couple of throw-ins in a row. St. Francis' defense has stepped up so far. Now a run towards the middle of the field, knocked away by that defense towards the sideline. Good long run and a brief clearance for St. Francis. Indiana Northwest is trying to restart this possession. They've lost their momentum, though. Saints have taken it away now a couple of times in a row. It is the Saints pushing across midfield. Rolled back towards the middle. Knocked loose by the Red Hawks. Back to Galvin on the defensive side. Long push down. Ariadne Gonzalez on the run. She's able to tap it past the goalkeeper, but that's all she's able to do. A little bit too much juice on that last touch. She was able to kick it to the side of Escalera. Nice move in order to do that, but then she wasn't able to catch up with the ball. So Escalera didn't make a save there, but she was able to force a stop by pushing Gonzalez off her intended path. And now we've got a goal kick. Is this our first? I doubt it. I don't have it in front of me. I have to rewatch the game. 14 minutes to play, first half. Can the Saints keep this one in bounds? Looks like it for now. From the corner, there's the cross right in front of the net and cleared high into the air by Indiana Northwest. Back and forth on the defensive side for Indiana Northwest. Saints take it away. So we'll call it the offensive side for the Fighting Saints now as a foul is called against the Red Hawks. Free kick is taken right into the box, headed away by Indiana Northwest. Saints regain possession. Jocelyn Garcia Favela rolls it down into the corner, tried to cross it, but didn't have much juice on that pass. It ends up spinning straight out of bounds for a goal kick. Kick skids on the ground a few times before the Fighting Saints are able to scoop it up. It's Diaz trying to weave her way between a couple of defenders. Got by the first, but not the second. Good ball movement from the Fighting Saints right in the middle of the field. Pass ahead to Diaz. She turns around, gives it up. Gonzalez takes a wild left-footed shot out of bounds. Ariadne Gonzalez has 8 goals scored this year. She's obviously been extremely effective. 31 shots on goal, which is 3 times as many as anybody else on the team. She's also taken 45 total shots. So she's been efficient with those shots. 2/3 of them have been on goal. A little bit better than 2/3. 689 is the official shot on goal percentage, but that last one was a little bit wild. It looked like she was just trying to do anything to get it towards the net, hoping something would happen. It didn't in that particular instance. 11.5 minutes to play in the first half. 1-0 the Fighting Saints lead. They got a goal from Andrea Aguirre in the 27th minute. On the sideline, a couple of Red Hawk defenders knock it out of bounds. There's the throw in from the Saints, right off the foot of the Northwest defender. Saints have it back. There's a whistle and a foul is called on the Red Hawks. Free kick for St. Francis, about 45 yards off the net. Kick is away right down the center of the field, headed into the air. Saints pushing, 3 defenders there. Saints keep possession. There's a long-range shot that drifts to the left of the net and out of bounds. Alexis Mariquin, I think, is the one who took that shot. But that was way out of there. And a chance for the Red Hawks to clear it on a goal kick. And it will not be Escalera taking the kick. Sent away by a defender. IU Northwest does have possession, not for long. Kicked straight out of bounds. We've got a throw-in coming from the far side for the team in gold. Passed back, not enough on that pass. Redhawks are able to take it away. Long run is stifled. Saints defense steps up in a big moment. It was one of the scariest moments of the game so far if you're a fan of St. Francis. Pass deflected. Saints stick with it, and they keep possession. A lot of red shirts around, though. St. Francis having trouble moving at the moment. And it is poked away by Indiana Northwest. Spun right back around to the Saints' way. And a foul called on the Red Hawks. Nothing serious. No cards have been given in the first half. But we've seen a handful of fouls, more than usual. I think. I mean, I don't have stats on that, but it seems like more than usual. Indiana Northwest on the season averages about 9.5 fouls per game. St. Francis is a little bit below that, about 7 a game. In the corner, St. Francis looking for a cross. Don't have it yet, and they're not going to get it right here. It's out of bounds. What are we looking at so far in terms of fouls? I just went over the averages. 4 apiece in the first half today. So it's not too much more than usual. These two teams would typically combine for about 17 fouls per game. So we're really right on track for that, almost an exact pace. So there you go. I'm just imagining it. 4 apiece so far in this game. 7 minutes to play. First half. 27th minute goal scored by Andrea Aguirre. It's our only score today. One touch into the box, and there's Rodriguez. Well, the way that Indiana Northwest scores, one more goal from the Saints wouldn't put the game away, but make things very difficult for the visiting side. Zoe Wells gets the pass from Chang Stroman. Now it's Santana. Rolling it off to her right. Redhawks have scored 2 goals in a game, only 3 times this year. Only once in the last 5 weeks. They're trying to get 1 goal here. Dancing into the box. It's passed back outside. Anybody there for a cross? They're not going to try it. Intercepted by St. Francis. Stepping in from the back end. The ball is shot down towards the corner of the box. Saved in bounds. Here's Lobert. Rolled to her right. Santana turns and chips it downfield, and we've got a whistle. This goes against the Fighting Saints. Free kick, IU Northwest, 40 yards out, just about dead center. Kick will be taken by Olivia Hansen. Help down in the box. Hansen makes her approach. There's the kick, and it's headed away by the Saints. Tough first touch by Okana, but she sticks with it, able to clear it further downfield. And the Redhawks lose momentum. They get the ball back, though. There's Hansen taking a shot from 30 yards out. It drifts to the right. Rodriguez lets it roll, had some weird spin on it, finally goes out of bounds. No, it didn't go out of bounds. It just spun right along that back line. Rodriguez was waiting for it to go out to get the goal kick, but instead she just played it where it was. 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. St. Francis has certainly been the better team in this first half, really from the opening whistle. They've proven it on the scoreboard with their 1 goal. They'd love to take a multi-goal lead, but what you really hate is when you dominate a team over a 45-minute stretch and then go into halftime with a tie score. And it happens all the time. In this case, the Saints don't have to worry about that. At very least, they're ahead by 1. Now they're going to try to make it 2. Pushing right down the center of the field. A run to the outside. There's a pass to the left. And offside is called. Indiana Northwest has just under 4 minutes to try to make sure that when they do go into halftime, that lead is less than 1. We've got a tie score going into halftime. I guess the Redhawks would like to have the lead, but talking about scoring 3 goals in 3.5 minutes, that's awfully difficult, especially for a team that doesn't score very much. Here come the Saints down to the corner and knocked out of bounds at that back flag. It is a throw-in for St. Francis. We still have not seen a corner kick in today's game. That's kicked from the corner, not a corner kick, but it's offsides. So a free kick for Indiana Northwest is coming from the very back of the field. That's where that last kick came from St. Francis. That last touch on the offsides. A yellow card given with 2:38 on the clock. Didn't see who that one was given to, but it is a yellow card against St. Francis. And now we go again. Straight out of bounds from Indiana Northwest. So the Saints get the yellow card, but they also get the ball back in the attacking third of the field. Tapped once and taken by the Saints. Pushed forward down to the sideline. Garcia Favela pushed out of bounds. intercepted in the middle of the field. And a foul on St. Francis here with under 2 minutes to play in the half. Free kick for Hansen. Saints are keeping the pressure on. That's Jakubiak trying to take the ball back. Controlled by Indiana Northwest, and now the ball is lost right at midfield. Saints are on the move down the far side. Chased back by the Red Hawks towards the corner and out of bounds. This is a big potential stand here for Indiana Northwest, down by 1 goal. But as I've been saying, the Saints have been pushing and pushing. If they can get one more going in the halftime, it would be huge. If Indiana Northwest can get the stop right here, I'm not sure that the Saints would have enough time to march down the field again, especially if the Red Hawks are taking their time, as they may on this throw-in from the corner. Under a minute to play in the half. Bit by bit, they're trying to roll down the field. That was deflected by St. Francis, and IU Northwest can take their sweet time on these throw-ins. So they legitimately are just one clearance away from probably just ending the half. I don't know if we'll see the Red Hawks make a push to try to score one more goal. They were not able to come up with that clearance, and so the Saints will get one last chance to push down the field. Far sideline, rolled ahead. Saints looking for the cross. Intercepted instead. Red Hawks keep control. Tapped the wrong way, though. It stays on the attacking side of the field for the Saints. Intercepted by Hansen of the Red Hawks. And it looks like this first half is going to come to a close before anybody else has a chance to get any offense going. With under 10 seconds to play in the half. Cleared by Escalera, the goalkeeper. And we'll hear the first half buzzer sound with our score. St. Francis 1, Indiana Northwest nothing. Impressive first half for the Fighting Saints. They got a goal from Andrea Aguirre. They did not let up after scoring it. Not a whole lot of offensive chances for Indiana Northwest. We'll see if any of that changes going into the second half. 45 minutes of soccer still to be played. We got 15 minutes on the halftime clock. So I'll be back at the end of that. I'll get you some first half stats and get ready to go for the second half. 1-0. St. Francis has the lead. It's the start of the second half here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. The University of St. Francis holds a 1-0 lead over Indiana University Northwest. Terry Bonadonna back on the call for today's contest. Fighting Saints got a goal in the 27th minute from Andrea Aguirre. It was her second goal of the season. And that's the difference in the game right now, although the other difference is that St. Francis just outplayed Indiana Northwest up and down the field. It has not been utter dominance, but they have controlled possession. They've had more chances to score, including one in the opening few seconds here of the second half, but Isabel Escalera does get to the ball first. Good run from the Fighting Saints right off the opening kick. Trying to double their lead early on here. Take a look at some of the stats from the first half of today's game. Fighting Saints had 7 shots. Indiana Northwest had 3. Shots on goal, 3 for the Fighting Saints, just 1 for Indiana Northwest. So Crystal Rodriguez had to make just the 1 save. Isabel Escalera made 2 for Indiana Northwest. The free kick is sent to the top of the box. Cleared quickly by Indiana Northwest. Saints step up. That's Galvin pushing it downfield. Quick touch from Alexis Mariquin, but lost to Indiana Northwest. Gianna Church back in the game. Marissa Paredes is in right now for IU Northwest. She came in at halftime. She passes the ball back where Nora Lobert is able to push it downfield. The first time that Paredes has played today. She's the only one who checked in at halftime. Bryn Nylene loses her dribble. She's fouled. That's the 8th foul on St. Francis. Indiana Northwest has committed 4. Gave the number earlier. The Saints commit just about 7.5 fouls per game. At the time that I said it, I was trying to make the point that there have been more fouls than usual. And then I actually looked at the numbers and realized that was wrong. On one bounce, Crystal Rodriguez picks it up at chin level. So the free kick from Olivia Hansen, about 40 yards out. She does put it on goal. But on one bounce, Rodriguez is able to make a fairly routine save. Anyway, my point was, I was kind of wrong at the time that I initially said it, but now it's true. There have been more fouls than usual, especially for St. Francis, which doesn't commit many. They're already over their season average, and we're just underway in the second half. We have not seen a corner kick yet in today's game. Individual leaders for St. Francis. Andrea Aguirre has 3 shots taken already in the game. One of them went in. Here's a chance for St. Francis. That cross is deflected, and the block from Indiana Northwest goes the other way. Just the 3 total shots for Indiana Northwest so far. Hansen, Nylene, and Santana are the ladies who have taken them. Player down for the Fighting Saints. I think that's Ariadne Gonzalez. A little bit slow to get up after falling on that last play. She's hopping around a little bit right now, but she is back in the action. Here's Paredes. Passing off to the right side. Church. And intercepted by the Fighting Saints. Mia Perry lost her footing for a second, but she is able to clear it. Here comes Isabel Diaz. Diaz trying to race by the defender. It was Daisy Bonilla. Got by Bonilla. Ball's out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for the Fighting Saints. Almost 4 minutes have gone by in the second half. Still very early in this half and still a very tight game. Saints have an excellent defense. Redhawks have struggled on offense all season. But you still don't want to count on the idea that 1 goal is going to win you a game. So a lot of pressure early in this second half on the Saints to try to extend that lead. And they might be able to take a step back a little bit the rest of the way if that's the case. Here's a shot that dies in front of the net. I think that was Jocelyn Garcia Favela who took it. And it was played on one hop by Isabel Escalera, but She didn't really need to make a save on it. I don't know if it had enough juice to even reach the net. There's a trip, but it's incidental. And so play continues as Diaz helps herself up. Little push from behind. Called against Indiana Northwest. That's the 5th foul on them today. And smack dab at midfield. A free kick for the Fighting Saints. Ishel Pelayo's pass has a little bit too much steam on it. Looking for Ariadne Gonzalez. It's out of bounds. Lobert gives a big kick across midfield. Bounces a couple of times. Galvin steps up. Ahead to Pelayo. Pelayo's ball is intercepted. Saints on the far side, trying to keep it in bounds. No dice. Throw in for Indiana Northwest. There have been so few opportunities for Indiana Northwest in attacking territory. They're going to get one here. So the ball was taken away, but it's a foul called. So now less than 30 yards out from the net. Indiana Northwest is about to get a free kick to the left of goal. So not a great angle from this distance. But it is a chance right here to potentially put a shot on goal on the free kick. Looks like Hansen will be taking it. Ball is away right in front of the net. Rodriguez grabs it. So it's a save for Crystal Rodriguez on the shot on goal on that 30-yard free kick. And the Saints maintain their shutout. Still 1-0 with 38 minutes to play in the second half. Off the head of Hansen, it rolls back to Lobert. On the defensive end, it's Indiana Northwest in control. Trying to push across midfield. They haven't been able to do so yet, but they haven't lost possession either. It's a big kick from Lobert down the near sideline. Space cleared out by Zoe Vallant as Rodriguez lets it come to a stop right at her feet in the penalty box. To the outside, St. Francis in possession and lost out of bounds. Down the middle of the field, St. Francis trying to mount an offensive attack. Intercepted by the Red Hawks, and they slow it down. To the near side, long run for that ball. It's Paredes. Marissa Paredes takes a step to the left. Her pass towards the middle of the field is knocked wide. Hovers around the sideline and eventually does go out of bounds. Throw in Red Hawks. They work it quickly. Lobert to Hansen, gets it right back. Now the Saints take it away. Here's Diaz. Long pass picked off. Redhawks are starting to take control of possession just a little bit. Not a lot of this in the first half or even in the first few minutes of the second half. Foul called on the Fighting Saints. Having possession doesn't necessarily lead to goals. It doesn't even necessarily lead to shots. But as we saw in the first half, St. Francis had possession for the first half hour pretty much consistently, and all of a sudden they were able to get a chance and knock a goal in. Doesn't always happen, but certainly your odds are better if you have the ball, right? There's the free kick to the center of the box, turn and a shot by Church, and it looks like we've got offsides coming up. Whistle blows. It is offsides against Indiana Northwest. Saints try to keep the ball in bounds. Gonzalez couldn't do it. She loses it on the sideline. Another throw in for Lobert right at midfield. Good turn from Nylene. Knocked away from her, but another foul called against St. Francis. Another free kick here for Indiana Northwest. They've had a bunch of them. This time from the sideline, just under 40 yards from the net. Olivia Hansen, the senior midfielder, steps up on it. Curls it in front of the net, headed away by the Saints towards the corner. And out of bounds. I think that was on the sideline. Yep, it's going to be another throw-in. We still haven't seen a corner kick in this game. 55 minutes in. Quick deflection to the side on the near end of the field. Stays in bounds. And the defense of Indiana Northwest will try to move the ball downfield. Chang Stroman rolls it to the left side. There's a shot from Nylene, and Rodriguez is able to smother it. Credit to the Redhawks, though. They've turned the game around just the last 5-6 minutes. They're getting loads of chances all of a sudden. Rodriguez has had to make more saves so far in the second half, and we're just 11 minutes in, than she did the entire first half. Another opportunity for Indiana Northwest. Again, Rodriguez gets involved. This time, though, the ball dies at her feet. Didn't have to make a save. Tussle for the ball and a foul called on Indiana Northwest as the Saint was undercut there. I think that's Zoe Vallant trying to work her way back up. She's good to go. Free kick for the St. Francis defense. Rolled over to Vallant just to prove that she's back in the action, ready to go. She rolls it right back over to her right. Garcia Favela's pass is intercepted. Vallant steps in, heads it downfield. Mariquin off to her right. Saints keep possession. Big kick Galvin. Stepping up, Indiana Northwest makes the stop. Here's Mariquin again. Nope, intercepted by Indiana Northwest. Redhawks defense playing well. Now a good run for St. Francis. It's onside. Gonzalez into the box, takes the shot. Great save by Escalera, who dives on top of it and keeps the score 1-0. What a great ball and a great run from Gonzalez. That looked like as good an opportunity as the Saints are going to get all day. It's not often that anybody can catch Ariadne Gonzalez from behind. She is one of the speedier players in the CCAC. She was not caught from behind, but the defense was closing in just enough that she had to rush the shot a tad. That meant that she wasn't able to push it past Escalera, who made a really nice diving save to keep this score at 1-0. As I've detailed already, 2-0 lead for the Saints could be deadly for the Redhawks. This is a team that struggles to score. Only 3 times in 13 games all year have they scored more than 1 goal. They're going to have to do that today if they want to win. Of course, if the Saints had scored there, Redhawks would need 2 goals just to tie, and that's a tall order in 31 minutes. There's the flip on the throw-in. The Saints are able to take it away. Not as much juice on that throw, I don't think, as she wanted. She's not going to back up this time from the same spot. In the box, Redhawks looking to get a shot off. Saints not allowing it so far. Contact and a foul called. Free kick for the Redhawks. Far side of the field. Just under 25 yards from net. Saints defenders are backed up. Now the kick. Right into the center of the pitch and taken away by the Fighting Saints. Cleared by the defense, and we got a handball called on Indiana Northwest. Jocelyn Chang Stroman is the one who was called for the handball. She reacted immediately. The whistle came slightly after that, but it was pretty clear. I don't think her reaction bought the whistle, but she tried to play it anyway. Didn't work out for her. It is a free kick for St. Francis. Intercepted by Indiana Northwest down the sideline and out of bounds. Couple of substitutions for St. Francis. Litzy Flores and Anna Jakubiak are in. Flores started this game for the Fighting Saints, but it's her first appearance in the second half. 29 minutes to play in this game. Still a long way to go. St. Francis is by no means feeling comfortable about this score. Trying to add on to their lead right now. They're in the attacking zone. And now they're out of it. The ball is still there, but it's possessed by Isabel Escalera. There's the punt across midfield. Volant steps up and plays it for St. Francis. Indiana Northwest takes it back. Here's Daisy Bonilla. Rolling ahead, Nylene. Nylene taps it once. Poked free by the Fighting Saints, and a foul called on St. Francis. There have been a lot of those. IU Northwest hasn't necessarily taken advantage, although they have taken possession well here. Trying to make a push, knocked away by the Fighting Saints. Fight for the ball right in the middle of the field. It's cleared for the moment, and the Saints are able to take it away. Gonzalez rolls it back to the middle. Diaz spins and loses it. Redhawks on the move. And Gianna Church, freshman forward, comes up short on that ball. It drifts a little bit past her. Chang Stroman jumped up on that kick. Hard deflection. Ended up going right back to the goalkeeper, Crystal Rodriguez. Rodriguez punts it to her right this time. One bounce at midfield. One against two, and the two St. Francis defenders are able to win out on that play. Ball reclaimed by Indiana Northwest and back into the box, but again, Rodriguez is right there. Church tries to apply a little bit of pressure to Rodriguez to at least force her to move a little bit quickly. It is amazing how much this game has turned around just in terms of possession time. Indiana Northwest still hasn't scored. They still trail in the game. But the tone of it is very different right now as the Saints try to make a move. Going to the left side, Gonzalez cuts it towards the corner, now looking for the cross. Well defended, has to pull it back out. She's down to the corner, trying to get around Lobert. Turns and kicks it with the right foot. Long way back, and Indiana Northwest forces the Saints back even further. Here's Zoe Volant stepping up. Her pass to the right is deflected, but a foul called on the Redhawks with just over 26 minutes to play in the second half. St. Francis will get a free kick from their attacking side of the field. Similar location to so many Indiana Northwest free kicks today. Saints haven't had so many of them, though. See if they can make something out of this, something that the Redhawks haven't been able to do. There's the kick. One hop into the box, turn, a shot, and a save made by Escalera. She falls on top of it. Able to turn away Alexis Mariquin. Mariquin got the shot off of Mia Perry's free kick. And now it's the Redhawks ball again. Emily Galvin steps in, knocks it free. Galvin rolls it across the midfield stripe. Indiana Northwest is trying to avoid what would be their 4th loss in their last 5 games. If this score holds, St. Francis will have gone 9 consecutive without taking a loss. And it would be their 6th win during that stretch. They're 5-0-3 over their last 8 as it stands right now. To the left, it's Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to work her way around Lobert. Lobert standing strong again, forces her towards the back line, and the cross is picked off by Escalera. On the near sideline, here's Marissa Paredes. Paredes pass deflected. Gets it back. Here's Nylene. Nylene down to the corner. 2 defenders on her. Force her off the ball, but force the ball out of bounds. Throw-in coming up for Indiana Northwest, but they're going to make some subs first. Looks like Gianna Church is checking out. She was set to throw that ball in, so she has to run all the way across the field along with Bryn Nylene. Aaron Harrison has checked in. Throw from Zoe Wells, who also just entered the game. The Saints are able to take it out of the box. Hanson loses the ball on the tackle. Now up in the air, and it is won by Indiana Northwest for the moment. Pass back to Hanson. Olivia Hanson trying to set something up. Rolls it off to her right. It's Lobert stepping up from the defensive line. Lobert stays in possession. Passes ahead. Wells. Zoe Wells turns, fights her way through traffic. Ball deflected, still loose, and sent out to Paredes. Northwest still in control of possession. Marissa Paredes backs it out. Finds Lobert once again. Lobert into the box. One deflection and picked up by Rodriguez. Dogged possession there for Indiana Northwest. They had a few chances, really pushed their way through. Didn't end up with anything out of it. So St. Francis has it on defense now. To the sideline, out of bounds. And it will be Indiana Northwest throw-in. Foul called on the Redhawks. Free kick coming up for the Fighting Saints. 22-23 on the clock. Mia Perry is down, so the clock stops for the moment. She's up, walking around. Looks like she'll be all right. As the clock begins to roll once again. Far side of the field, ball knocked out of bounds right at midfield. Throw in for the Redhawks. And cleared by St. Francis. Throw in IU Northwest, far side of the field, trailing 1-0, under 22 minutes to play. So we're just past the halfway point of the second period in today's games. A little bit over 3/4 of the way through this thing. This second half has certainly not been dominated by the Saints the way the first half arguably was, but the score remains the same. St. Francis looking to double their lead. Pass across field. Here's a run from the midfield. Rolled into the center, right at the edge of the box. Knocked away. Good clearance by Northwest. Anna Jakubiak keeps the ball in the air. St. Francis remains in possession. It's Perry. Mia Perry, a few defenders around her. Passes to her left. Tapped right back to her. Perry splits the 2 defenders, and she is knocked down to the ground. A foul called on Indiana Northwest. Perry, for the second time in the last 2 minutes, is shaken up. And a yellow card given. Is that Dusty Stoner, I believe, who got the yellow card? Great move by Perry to break away from two defenders. And then Stoner stepped in, the last line of defense, essentially. And she halted her, but apparently did so illegally. So 21 minutes even, showing on the clock right now. Free kick for St. Francis, 30 yards out. Trying to double their lead. Coming off the yellow card from Indiana Northwest. A shot on the free kick. Diving save made by Isabel Escalera. Crisis averted for Indiana Northwest. However, they still trail by 1. To the sideline, out of bounds. Cross midfield. Past the foot initially of Aaron Harrison. Harrison tried to keep it alive. The loose ball is chased down by Paredes, but Paredes loses it on one touch. So it is St. Francis in control here. This is a good run down the sideline. Cross. Nobody there on the pass from Litzy Flores. So on the far end of the field, Saints will try to start over. Taking it down towards the corner. Looking to worm their way into the box. Deflection out of bounds, and we're going to get a corner kick here. 19:40 to play in the second half. Our first corner kick of the game. And it belongs to the Fighting Saints. Giving them another chance to, again, not quite put the game away, but come close to doing so. So they could make it a 2-goal lead. There's the cross, a header, and right at Escalera. To the sideline, out of bounds. Under 19 minutes to play. Throw in Indiana Northwest. 1-0 St. Francis. They got a goal back in the 27th minute from Andrea Aguirre. Neither team has scored here in the second half. It's 1-0 at halftime, St. Francis. It still is. They've played stout defense here in the second half, as Indiana Northwest has dialed up the pressure. They've held on to the ball a lot more in the second than they did in the first. And yet they have not been able to break through. And now, these last couple of minutes, it's been St. Francis developing the opportunities. The last 3 minutes or so, Fighting Saints have had the ball most of the time, and most of the time it's been on this side of the field. They likewise have not been able to break through despite that, but they don't need to, not right now, because they've already got the lead. They'd love to, but at the moment it's not necessary. Foul called on Indiana Northwest. That was only about 2 yards outside the penalty box. So in that sense, I guess they catch a break. In another sense, I don't think they would have been as physically aggressive if they had been 2 yards back in that penalty area. So it's a free kick. It's not a penalty kick, though. 20 yards back, far side of the field. Free kick for St. Francis. Free kick comes in. Escalera able to play it on the line drive. So another stop made by Escalera. She's played well today. She's played well all season. Only allowed 16 goals in 13 games played this year, including today. And she has shown why. She's been one of the better keepers in the CCAC this season. But as has been the case all season, hasn't gotten a whole lot of offensive support. Indiana Northwest scores only about a goal per game. 1.08 goals per game coming into play today. That'll drop down to an even 1 goal per game if they can't get on the board today. Trying to drum up a chance right here with a free kick from 10 yards past midfield. Sent into the box and headed away by the Saints. Indiana Northwest back into the box. Couple of defenders around it. No shot. Now back to the corner. And again, no shot from Indiana Northwest. They got in tight a few times there, but the Saints did not allow an attempt at the net. And now the threat appears to be over as the Fighting Saints will get to throw it in from the far sideline. Tapped away by St. Francis. Pushed ahead again by Indiana Northwest. We've got a foul called. A player down wearing red over on the far side of the field. She quickly gets to her feet. But the damage is done by St. Francis. It's another free kick. Clock stops at 15:23 as the referee, Vasilios Voris, goes over to the sideline to talk to Jamie McNicholas, IU Northwest's head coach. Don't know the topic of today's discussion. But typically, a head coach doesn't talk to the referee if he's happy with the way the game is being officiated at the moment. Anyway, it is a free kick. There it goes. One bounce, it skids past the net. We got a goal kick. Goal kick was nearly taken away by Indiana Northwest. Saints got it back. Bouncing in the middle of the field, cleared by St. Francis. Good job by Jocelyn Chang Stroman to step in on that ball. Defender for IU Northwest. Saved a little bit of time. We still have over 14 minutes to play, so it's not desperation time for Indiana Northwest, but every few seconds counts. When the Saints clear it, they don't want to have to start over from the defensive end every time. And again, Jocelyn Chang Stroman prevents that by stepping in the midfield circle and pushing downfield again. Here she comes one more time, but a foul's called on Indiana Northwest here. Free kick defensively for St. Francis. Zoe Vallant pushes across midfield. Deflected back and forth, and on the defensive end, once again for IU Northwest. Trying to clear it towards the sideline, looking for some space, not able to find it. It's intercepted by the Fighting Saints. They force their way down the far sideline, headed towards the back and out of bounds. We're going to get a goal kick here. Isabel Escalera lines it up. Still time to go, but Indiana Northwest is starting to run out a little bit. 13 minutes to play. There's a shot, and it's punched up in the air, staying in bounds. Escalera made a nice play on that ball. Not able to catch it cleanly or knock it out, though. So finally, a defender has to step in and push to the back sideline. And out for a St. Francis throw. St. Francis able to win that ball at the midfield once again. And a whistle does blow. Looks like another foul on the Fighting Saints. So this time it comes from the defensive end, but another free kick here for IU Northwest. Took a while for the ball to get back out there. So Clock continues to run. This is almost a full minute off the clock during this play. So call that a victory for St. Francis, even though it does result in a free kick for IU Northwest. One bounce into the box, and on the second bounce, Crystal Rodriguez grabs it. Bounce across midfield, and a whistle blows. Foul this time on the Redhawks. Well, I know I've said it a few times now. It is undeniably true at this point. A lot more whistles in this game than we're accustomed to seeing. There have been a lot of fouls. Been physical. Free kick into the box, headed into the air. Chance for the Fighting Saints as it bounces right in front of the net, and the Redhawks are able to clear it. Jakubiak steps up, heads it downfield once again, back towards the sideline. Cross from Litzy Flores, nobody there wearing yellow. An easy clearance for the Redhawks that time. And they're back on offense. Galvin for the Saints controls it on defense. Counterattack from St. Francis, lost it on a big touch right there, and the Redhawks are able to take control in a big way. Out of bounds, St. Francis throw as IU Northwest was not able to make anything out of that takeaway. Lobbed by Jakubiak. Deflected once by Andrea Villa. Back on the visiting side. That pass a little bit too sharp for Daisy Bonilla. Saints knock it back to the sideline. Fight for possession as the clock winds down. Under 10 minutes to play in the game. Hard-fought physical game. 31 total fouls have been called. Both teams have had their chances in the second half. If IU Northwest ends up falling in this game 1-0, they cannot blame lack of opportunities. They just haven't been able to finish in this second half. Not many opportunities in the first half. It's been a different story in this second stanza. Here's a cross for St. Francis and out of bounds. Same deal for St. Francis. If they don't end up finishing this win off, it won't be because they didn't have any opportunities to extend the lead. They've had a bunch of them. Escalera's made a few really nice saves. A few shots have gone wide as well. But the way the first half went was not a surprise that St. Francis had a 1-0 lead. They outplayed the Redhawks the whole way. Redhawks have a chance right now into the box. Defender steps in and knocks it away. Last line of defense for St. Francis. Now a quick counter strike for them. Push down the far side of the field. They slow it down a bit. Indiana Northwest starts to make their way back on defense. That's Gonzalez to Flores cutting towards the box. Can't get there first. It's Lobert instead knocking it free, and Paredes down the sideline. Jakubiak is trying to keep this game moving quickly. She slows it down finally. Gonzalez again loses it off the first touch as a foul is called on Lobert, our 32nd today. As I was saying a moment ago, the first half went about how you would expect a 1-0 game to go. St. Francis controlled possession. They had more opportunities, and at halftime they led 1-0, so no surprises there. The second half has been a little bit different as Aguirre sets up the free kick. Chipped into the box and headed away. I would have expected a lot more than 0 goals to be scored in a half that has been played like this. A lot more opportunities for both sides. St. Francis outshot Indiana Northwest 7-3 in the first half. Here in the second half, both teams have had more chances, more shots. 15 in the game now for the Fighting Saints. Paredes' pass is intercepted. Volant clears it. Just over 7 minutes to play. So we're not at a point in the game yet where the Saints are just playing keep away. They're still trying to push, but they are certainly at the point of game where every second counts. Every second they can keep Indiana Northwest from having the ball on the attacking side of the field is a big deal. They have possession now, but on the defensive side, and now they lose it out of bounds. Throw in St. Francis. .6:44 on the clock. It stops for a substitution late in the game because the Saints have the lead here. It's out of bounds, and that's a corner kick. Second corner of the game for the Fighting Saints. Last one didn't lead to much. We'll see if that changes here. Saints are keeping their defenders back, so they are, with the 1-goal lead very late in the action now, playing a little bit more conservatively. Headed away by IU Northwest. Sent right back the other way, but Escalera does keep it in bounds. And they are definitely at the point of the game right now where they have to save every second. So saving that one in bounds and punting it downfield, give them a few extra seconds compared to letting it go out for a goal kick. Flores passes right. Gonzalez trying to make a move. Gonzalez knocks it down towards the corner. There's a shot, and it's just a little bit wide to the left. Ariadne Gonzalez, by the way, did pick up an assist earlier today. It was her 4th of the season, her 20th point this year. The assist was originally credited to Mia Okana, but changed on review. It is Ariadne Gonzalez's assist. So that was the lone goal today. It's a beautifully set up offensive sequence for St. Francis. Ariadne Gonzalez got the assist. Andrea Aguirre got the score. That was the 27th minute. It's the only offense we've seen in this one. Still 1-0. Now it's a race to the ball. Vallant is able to get there before Harrison. Or rather, Wells, who she was working against. But either way, Vallant got there first. Wells throws it back in bounds. And now right in front of the net. Picked up by Rodriguez amidst some pressure. Rodriguez will take her time before punting it away. 4:35 to go. Second half. 1-0. St. Francis looking for their 9th consecutive result. This would also keep them in sole possession of first place in the CCAC for at least a few more days. They came into play today 1 point ahead of Olivet Nazarene, but also having played one more game than Olivet. So they can't settle for ties here if they want to stay at the top. They know they need wins. And they're only 4 minutes away from getting one right here. It would be their 6th win in their last 9 games. And it would be their 5th win among 8 conference games this season. They have not lost in the CCAC yet. Indiana Northwest's hopes for a win are fading fast. Still trying to play for a draw. Might be a little bit too late to get 2 goals on the board. But they're certainly putting the pressure on right now to try to get the equalizer. Hansen loses the ball, gets it back, takes the shot. She was a little bit too far out, not able to direct that one the way that she wanted. Wide to the right and out of bounds. And a goal kick here for St. Francis. Cleared by Jakubiak. Here comes a run from the Fighting Saints. A chance to add to their lead. Diaz and Orocana into the box. Pass off to the right. Gonzalez takes a step to the left. Takes the shot. Deflected. Rebound is in for the 2nd goal of the game. And St. Francis, with under 3 minutes to play, may have just put this one away. .249 showing on the clock. And the Saints have doubled their lead. A breakaway run Gonzalez was initially stopped, but on the rebound, the Saints are able to put it in to make the score 2-0. And that should do it against a team that has struggled on offense. You really don't expect 2 goals in under 3 minutes. Can't take anything for granted, though. The Saints will play hard for the final 2.5 here to try to wrap it up for good. Marissa Paredes. At midfield, Saints in control. Dribbling to the left. This is Flores, just trying to keep the ball away from the Redhawks right now. They're doing a pretty good job of it since scoring that goal. Saints have no designs on another one, not that they'd mind, but they don't need it. So right now they're just passing around and did a great job of keeping the ball away from the Redhawks. Been a while since Indiana Northwest has been able to touch it cleanly. Now finally they got one touch on it, but it's headed right back to St. Francis. Bounces in the box. Paredes trying to take control for Indiana Northwest to no avail. Finally in the middle of the field, it's Chang Stroman who forces it towards the sideline, and a foul called on St. Francis. We're down, though, to 80 seconds to play. Back to the defense for Indiana Northwest. Flores passes back to Vallant, who sends it down the sideline, out of bounds. Some of the urgency is gone from Indiana Northwest now, so they may see the writing on the wall after a big push, looking to tie the score up at 1. They came up short. On a counterattack, St. Francis was able to add to their lead, and now it appears to be done. Litzy Flores got the second goal off the rebound on Gonzalez's shot. That's out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for St. Francis, and that is probably how the game will end. Goal for Litzy Flores was her 3rd of the season. 2nd of the game for St. Francis after Andrea Aguirre scored the first one back in the first half. Goal kick from Crystal Rodriguez. As soon as she sends this one away, that will just about do it as the Saints headed out of bounds, and the final buzzer sounds. Zeros on the scoreboard as St. Francis comes away with a 2-0 CCAC victory. They remain unbeaten in conference play, now 5-0-3, and they remain unbeaten in their last 9 matches. The Saints have not lost since a non-conference game back on September 10th at Marion out in Indiana. Great run for St. Francis and a really strong performance today, particularly on the defensive end. They dominated possession in the first half, took advantage of the best scoring chance they had as Andrea Aguirre put it into the back of the net off of a really nice pass from Ariadne Gonzalez. That made it 1-0. And then in the second half, they withstood some pressure from the Indiana Northwest offense. The Redhawks played a much better second half, applying a lot more pressure and creating a lot more chances than they did over the first 45 minutes, but the St. Francis defense was up to the task, coming up with a stop each and every time. They fought hard, the Redhawks that is, up until those final 3 minutes when finally one of their attacks was not only halted but turned into a breakaway opportunity for St. Francis. On the breakaway, the Redhawks were able to make a nice initial stop on a Gonzalez shot, but Litzy Flores was there for the rebound. She poked it in, and with 2:49 to play, they scored the second goal, which put this game on ice. So a 27th minute goal from Andrea Aguirre and an 87th minute goal, or 88th minute goal rather, scored by Litzy Flores made it 2-0 St. Francis. That is our final score today. With the win, Fighting Saints improve overall to 7-3-5 and in conference to 5-0-3. Indiana Northwest drops their overall record to 5-7-2. They drop to 2-4-1 in the CCAC, and they stay cold They had been having a pretty nice season up until a few weeks ago, but now they've dropped 4 of their last 5 games, while the Saints have soared to 9 consecutive results. It's going to do it for today's broadcast. 2-0, our final score. We're back at it tomorrow night as the men's teams go head-to-head. St. Francis will try to make it a double against Indiana Northwest. For the women's soccer team, their next home match is coming up a week from tomorrow. We'll have that broadcast for you as well. Final score once again here, 2-0. The Saints knock off the Red Hawks. Until next time, it's Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Have a good night.